Well, you guys, it's official. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Kira if you are new, and today I am sitting here bringing you guys an update on some pretty good news. Actually, I have a few things to update you guys on, so thank you so much for being patient. I usually try and sit down and do some kind of update once a month and just kind of let you guys know what's kind of going on in our world. A lot of the videos that I share, what's for dinners, lunches, grocery hauls, I don't really get a chance to really share as much as I'd like to share for the behind the scenes stuff. So that's what I have for you guys for today. And so I started off by saying it's official. So we are officially on the market, which makes me so happy. It was the longest process, it felt like, to empty the house and get everything into pods and then finally get everything cleaned and staged the way you really want it. You don't realize how much stuff you accumulate in like a short amount of time. We're just about here 5 years. November 17th is 5 years that we closed on this house, and it's amazing how much stuff you accumulated. And I should have known that because we were in the Clover house for almost 10 years, and that was atrocious to try and get out of that monstrosity 3,000 square foot house. This house is a little bit smaller than that, so I thought maybe we had kind of learned our lesson and we didn't overwhelm ourselves with a ton of stuff here, but that didn't really happen. It really was a lot to kind of get us up and running and out of the house. And my point of emptying everything is now we have this fire drill every single time that someone calls for a showing. I'm hoping that the next person who sees the house is going to want to stay in the house, but it's that being showroom ready every single day that literally drives me insane, you guys. Like, I cannot handle that. That is way too much for me. It's having a regular job and then still trying to maintain is crazy. It's not like I don't have help. Everybody is doing their best to try and maintain, but nothing is quite like mom's setting of everything. There's just ways that I envision I want the house to look like as people are walking through. So I'm really glad that we emptied the house as much as we did, because it'll just be easier for us to constantly be showroom ready on a daily basis. So that's where we're at right now. And then now it's the fun part, because now we need to go look at houses. So everybody keeps asking, like, did you find your house yet? Did you find your house? Do you know where you're moving yet? Like, where are you going? I don't know. I did not even want to start looking seriously until our house was on the market, especially since, unfortunately, I don't have enough money in reserves for me to buy a house while this one still sits on the market. I have to sell this one as I buy that one. So I wanted to be able to go in with a contingency offer of saying, hey, our house is on the market. This is what we're selling it for. This is what we're going to make. This is what we're going to be able to put down. Will you be willing to wait? A lot of times, if you don't have your house on the market, but you're going to go look and you say, hey, I really want to put a bid on your house, but are you willing to wait till I put my house on the market and then sell my house and then we can buy your house? Like, nobody's going to want to hear that. But at least if they can see actively that we have a house on the market and that we're actively trying to sell at the same time as we're trying to actively buy, I feel like that would give us a little bit more ground. So I have a ton of houses that I've kind of flagged. I have at least like my top 6 or 7, but I have one that's like my top one that I am completely in love with, especially since it's a 1-story and I'm kind of over the 2-story life a little bit. So I also kind of feel that the house is 2,800 square feet. So for a 1-story, that's 2,800 square feet. Everybody almost has their own like quadrant of the house. Like the kids would have their own wing. Daryl and I would have our own wing. Like Paul would have his own wing. And then the 4th corner is like the community living room, kitchen, and then of course there's a central area where there's like an office, a family room, a dining room, but all of that's like in the center. And then the quads of the house are like the different areas, and I just kind of like the setup of that. I feel like it would give everybody independence and space, and it would feel really good. It would feel like we leveled up, if that makes sense. Like everybody would just feel good in their own space, which is kind of the point of all of this. So I really like that one. We're going to see that one today. Actually, we're going to see that one. I have to meet my realtor. Dang, I have to meet my realtor in 45 minutes. So I'm already dressed and ready. So I only have a few minutes left to talk to you. It's about 30 minutes from where I am now, which would kind of put me a little far away from work, but it is what it is. It's worth it to go move into that area. The school district is like a 998 when you look on realtor.com. So really great school district. It would be worth the drive just to put the kids over there. And then we're going to look at my number 2. So today we'll see 1 and 2. We'll see what we think. Maybe next week we'll look at 3, 4, and 5, something along those lines. And then once we've seen 5, we'll go ahead and see like what we like the best and who's willing to accept a contingency offer. So now it's the fun part. So I'm excited. I'll make sure I'm sharing on Instagram. I hope you guys are following me. This should go out tomorrow morning. So if you guys go and follow right away, you should be able to see something live time in a story, because I'll share a little bit while I'm there. But super excited about that. Those are the fun things. And my number 1 choice is, it's a move-in ready, but there's definitely some projects like the bathrooms need to be a little modernized and stuff like that. But I love that because that's stuff I can take you guys along for, and I enjoy those things. The before and afters are really, really cool for me, and I've done quite a few of those on my channel. So I like that kind of thing, like my laundry room makeovers and stuff like that. I enjoy that, and then I get to go back and watch them too, so that's kind of exciting. All right, so something else that's super exciting. So Daryl and I have gone back and forth over this health insurance thing, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've not really felt well these last few weeks. I was doing really good. I had a little bit of a rough start to August, but then after I got home, things kind of leveled out, and for the whole rest of August, I felt great. I was not having any nausea. I was adjusting well to sleeping. The Ultra Human Ring has really been working because it gives me a lot of insight to my sleep, what I need. It's amazing what it knows. Like, it'll say like, hey, I can tell by your elevated temperature and your hormone levels, like your menstrual cycle is going to start tomorrow, and then it starts tomorrow. Like, it's so bizarre that it's already mapped me. It knows me. It could tell like, hey, are you feeling worn out today? I'm like, actually, I really am feeling tired. Oh, well, you're even though you slept for 6 hours last night, you only got 2 full sleep cycles. Like, you're not on a good path. Like, you need to rest today, or rest today, or whatever. Like, last Sunday, I literally did what my ring told me to do, which was don't move. Like, rest it out. I've been feeling really, really good. Well, at least I did for a good chunk of August, and then leading into September. And then the last few weeks, I've had twice where I've called my husband home from work, which is awful because I did not want to be here alone because I felt so crappy. And I don't want to be the kind of person that says something awful happened to me because I ignored all of these other symptoms. Like, it's just not healthy for me. So Daryl and I made the educated, better decision, and he changed jobs. So he was really happy where he was, and I actually was happy where he was. He was working fairly close to home. He was working in an area where he was actually able to scoop up a bunch of receipts, which was really nice because I was like hitting it off with my Fetch Rewards. My Fetch Rewards is like filled with a whole bunch of receipts that aren't mine, but he was finding them all over because he just worked in that area. So it was really, I liked it, and it was, like I said, very, very close to home. Not that he's not close to home, it's a little bit further away, and it is a pay cut. But the reason why we decided to take this job with the pay cut involved is because there's amazing benefits involved. And so we finally just decided, okay, it's not about money anymore. We are coming into open enrollment. We were just going to do like Obamacare or something like that. There was some kind of something that I thought I was going to be able to get the kids into, like a discounted health program for the kids. But it just made more sense. We even had an appointment with a mortgage, not a mortgage, geez, you can tell what's on my brain, an insurance broker. Daryl had like a phone not interview, but just like a conversation where they were going over different package plans and stuff and seeing if he could get us into something that would be affordable. And then Daryl told him, hey, there's a possibility I'm going to leave my job and take this other job. This is the health plans and stuff that they offer. What do you think? And so Daryl sent all this over to him, and the guy came back and said, take the damn job. Like, this is almost better than what I can give you. The only thing that was different was that guy had a lower deductible, and it was only by $500. So, I mean, it's not, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't the worst. So I thought that was pretty good because, I mean, here you go. You have a mortgage broker trying to sell us a mortgage. Geez, you have an insurance broker who's over here trying to sell us health insurance, and he's over here saying, take the job. The health insurance you're being offered is really, really good. So I'm really happy about that. He put in his 2 weeks, which he's already worked, and he started his new job for the first day. He had orientation on Monday. And then yesterday was like his first real shift there. And he seems to like it. Obviously staying in the field. He's just the GM of a different kind of restaurant. But it was a good, I don't want to say step back for him, but at least it's not like a super, super fast pace. None of us are getting any younger, so I don't want to see him in something that's just like constantly so go, go, go. So I'm happy to see that he's in something that is a little bit more slower paced, and again, that comes with a pay cut, but it's coming with incredible benefits. So I'm really, really happy about that. Actually, last night when he came home, I told him, like, I feel awful. Can you please help me cook dinner? So he helped me cook dinner. I ended up laying on the couch. He had like fans on me, and I had cooling packs everywhere just to kind of keep myself, because I just felt like I needed my body to be in shock. I felt so crappy and just shitty, and I was not feeling myself at all. And I asked him, like, can you please do me a favor, like on your next shift, he's off today, we're doing the house hunting thing, and then tomorrow when he goes to work at 8 a.m. I told him, please, whoever you talk to, can you find out, like, do we speak to HR, or now that you officially have had your first shift, how long do we wait until insurance? I know most of the time you have to wait like 60 to 90 days, but for them it's right away. Plus this is an open enrollment for their company, even if you were a new employee and just weren't a new employee but wanted in on the insurance. So I'm hoping we should be able to walk in right away, and I'll be able to get onto some insurance. I did actually call the next level, and they let me do a over the phone to my old doctor. They told me that I was still active in their system, which is kind of crazy because that means Matanga's never canceled me, and I was under my husband, so I don't understand. Like, when he canceled, they should have canceled me out, but I called just to see if I could pay for an out of pocket, and they were like, no, you're still active. So I did a phone conversation with my doctor over the phone, which was great. She let me know, you know, what's going on, let her know what's going on. She reviewed my last blood work, which I never got to go over, that I took in February, and then Daryl left and I never even got to review my blood work. So she went over all of that with me, told me all of that was good, like cholesterol, all of that stuff, I feel like is fine. And then we went over my medications, like my omeprazole, all the stuff I've been taking over the counter, which she said I can stay with those dosages. They were also fine, but she did want me to obviously see a specialist for the gastro issues, and she told me to go back to my OB. Now, I had an appointment to have blood work done with the OB, but they did not want me on my cycle. My cycle started, so I had to cancel and postpone. I rescheduled it for 2 weeks, and I got my freaking cycle again. So that has not happened to me in, I want to say, a couple of years for me, where I've gotten it so quickly. Couple of years back, I had it for a long time. I think I even spoke to you guys because they were contemplating a hysterectomy. I had like cysts and masses and stuff, and I had it for like a month and a half straight, and it was awful. Like, I was so depleted. My iron level was in really bad shape. But all that seemed to have cleared up, and I hadn't had any more further issues. And then now this has been really, really weird. Like, I have not felt right cycle wise for the last month and a half, and I'm wondering if that's why I haven't been feeling well these last few weeks, was because this started again. So I had to reschedule my blood work again. So now I go for my blood work at the end of this month, so that hopefully I don't have any cycle issues this time, so that I'm not on my, they don't want me on there because they're testing for the titers for menopause and things like that, and you can't be on your cycle when they do that blood work. So I'm hoping when I go back at the end of the month, all of that is clear, and that should be good. But I'm just excited that we're in the long run for just having regular health insurance, if not for just me and my husband, for my kids as well, because we paid out of pocket for all of that stuff for Mason for his mouth. And if I had medical insurance, at least something would have been covered, or dental, you know, obviously we have, you know, dental and vision plans you take with your medical, but I would have had something, and we had nothing. We paid out of pocket, which is the wrong time right now for me to just be spending so much money. So I'm excited for that. And speaking of Mason, a lot of you keep asking how he's doing. He's feeling great. He even told me, like, Mom, I think I can bite into an apple. And I was like, no, bud, you're not biting into an apple for the next 10 years. Like, I know you might feel good, but you can't. And I've been monitoring the coloration of his teeth, and they look really, really good. There's no change in color, so maybe the root can be saved. We still have yet to have done a root canal, so that is fantastic. They said they thought we were going to have to do it anyways, but once he took the antibiotics and the rest of the swelling and everything went down, the kid's back to feeling normal. His teeth aren't tender, and there's no discoloration to the front of his teeth. So fingers crossed that we were able to save the root. If we did, then I'm so glad I listened to this dentist and we didn't go and do the root canals right away, because at least the kid will have something substantial and like a root to hold on to, so that we can just cap them later, and it's not going to be like pulling the tooth and doing implants and all of that, because those are costly now. What is that going to be in 10 years? You know, things like that. So just for him, I'm really happy that he feels good. I just don't want him to get to the point where he feels so good he forgets and then he just starts biting down into things. It needs to be like a steady practice of him learning how to eat moving forward. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it. I'm excited that our house is on the market and we're ready to go and buy one. I'm excited about medical insurance and stuff like that on the dawning. Like, that's super exciting to get us all kind of physically in line. Like, I'm super excited about that. And I'm happy to report that Mason's good. Kids are doing great in school so far, and they seem to really enjoy their school, which is kind of sad because I'm gonna have to pull them no matter where we go. Like, we're not even close to even drive them for the rest of this year, just to have them finish this year out. But both of the places that we're looking at least the houses that we're looking at today, the areas in which we're looking at, the schools are supposedly fantastic. So hopefully it'll be a nice transition into there. But all right, you guys, I don't want to be too late. I have to go and throw my shoes on and get out the door so I can go see my #1 pick. I've been waiting for this for days, and I'm so excited. This house is everything I want in a house right now. So fingers crossed, you guys. I'm really excited. I'm excited to take you guys along, so I hope you are too. But all right, thank you for your sitting around with me, hanging out with me for these last 20 minutes in a little update. I love you guys so much. Fingers crossed for me. Subscribe if you are new. Give this video a huge thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.